You want to see something cool that I know you've been curious about in Back 4 Blood? Here. Boop, boop. Come get him, boys. Here we go. Everyone together now. Come on. Everyone together. Everyone together now. Here we go. Can we do it? Can we do it? I think we can do it. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. You might be wondering, oh, they're probably all just stunned. Nope, they are all dying. So, oh, actually, you know what? You might be curious about this too. Here. Bonk. Want to fight me? Bonk. You want to fight me? Bonk. Think you want to fight me? Nope, can't fight me. You want to fight me? Come on, bonk. But you can't do anything, can you? Bonk. I can do this all day. And here's something you're really gonna like. Here, take a look at these volatile heads. Oh man, they're tough to deal with. If I hit them, they're gonna explode, right? Nope. Oh, and just in case this hasn't been enough for you, I forgot to mention, we're on Nightmare. But the real beauty of all this is take a look at what level we're on right now. We're on 1-1, meaning that we're only using one card to go ahead and make this all work. Okay, so what's going on here? I'm sure you guys are wondering. The main thing that's happening here is this card called Heavy Hitter. In fact, all the stuff I just showed you does not work without Heavy Hitter. But there's a lot to consider when you pick this card if you're going to be doing a punching build, okay? So what Heavy Hitter does is melee hits against weak spots deal plus 20 additional stumble damage. Okay, what is stumble damage? Stumble damage is a special type that builds up and interrupts enemies. So what you were seeing is that we were one-hitting common, and that could have been a monstrous common or a regular common. And also, we were stunning tall boys every single time we hit them. So apparently their stumble threshold is pretty low. But now let's talk about why in the world are we one-hitting things? That doesn't make any sense. Even in 1-1, I was one-hitting things. So I only had Heavy Hitter and Meth Head on. So I didn't even get additional damage. Meaning that my punches deal 1 damage. So maybe it's all about this Heavy Hitter stumble damage. Now, how does stumble damage work? Honestly, the volatile thing is messing me up a little bit. But let me give you some theories. So if you take a look at health numbers here, we have 20 health on a regular common, 25 on a ferocious, and 30 on a monstrous. Okay? So no matter what way you twist it, you're not going to be able to get that 1 damage high enough to reach 20 or 25 or 30. But since we're able to take things out in 1-1 without a bunch of modifiers, potentially what's going on is we are taking out the weak spot and we are destroying the weak spot. Because this is one of the big findings we had out of that damage video I had. I had some people be like, well, there's more to this story, and sure enough, there was. And one of the things we ended up learning about the common and a lot of these other creatures is that their weak spots are very complicated. So in the case of a common, and you know what, I'll save this for a whole nother video, but to keep it short, common have a breakable weak spot. That is their head. Their head only has 10 HP. It has 12.5 when they're ferocious, and it has 15 when they're monstrous. Now, other mutations like all the hawkers or all the exploders or all the tall boys, they also have weak spots, but their weak spots cannot break. So instead, the damage we do to their weak spot just gets taken away from their total health pool. But if you do happen to break a weak spot, let's say on a breaker or an ogre, what you may have noticed is that there's like a big chunk of health that they lose as soon as their weak spot is destroyed. Well, then same concept here with the common. If you destroy their weak spot, they take a big chunk of damage after that, and that big chunk of damage is enough to just kill them outright. That's my theory as to what's going on here with Heavy Hitter. We're just destroying their weak spot, which is causing them to just straight up die. What I don't understand is why the volatile heads don't break. If we're breaking the weak spot, why don't their heads explode? I don't know. I think there's a lot more going on to this, and I'm really looking forward to somebody with a pinned comment down below to really glean some insight as to how exactly this works. But what we know right now is that we can really stumble things, we can one-shot things just because of Heavy Hitter, and volatile heads don't break. But there's more to this that you really need to know before you start going, oh, Heavy Hitter, I'm going to do a punching deck, because it's way more complicated. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you how it is. If you take a look at my deck here, what you might notice is that I do not have cards like Face Your Fears in there. I do not have Vanguard. I don't have any of the healing cards. And there's a good reason for it. The reason for this is for some reason, you don't actually kill things when you do this. In fact, I'll go ahead and I'll rearrange my deck and show you what I'm talking about. Here, so I'm taking damage, right? Now let's go ahead and take a look at the cards that I have equipped. And now these cards include Face Your Fears, which gives me temporary health, Vanguard, which gives me temporary health when I go ahead and get a melee kill. We have all sorts of things. I think I have the healing card in here. Melee kills, heal 2 health. Right. So now let me go ahead and punch some common here. And what you'll notice is that for some reason, I'm not actually getting any health. What's the deal with that, huh? Why am I not getting any health here? They are dying. Look at, they're definitely not getting back up, a lot of these guys here. If I hit them in the head, they don't get back up. They just stay dead. But why am I not healing? That's a big problem, right? I don't know. So my guess is maybe this is why the volatile heads are not necessarily breaking. Because there's something weird with how the damage is being registered into weak spots. Something weird is happening here. But go ahead and take a look at this. If I go ahead and I hit a special written here, I bet you my temp health is going to go up. Here. See how it went up a little bit there? But there's a reason for this. And here, maybe there's another one out here. Is there another one? Yeah, this guy's all the way over there. So my temp health just went up a little bit when I hit the mutations. So if you take a peek here, I have a card that says Ignore the Pain. And this causes me to do more melee damage against mutations, but also I gain temporary health every time I deal melee damage. So what I'm finding here is that there's inconsistencies in how the game works, because these are registering as melee hits, but they're not registering as kills. Reason why I want to bring this up in a video is you're like, oh, well, if this doesn't work, well, what's the big deal? Reason why this matters is this is a bug, and that probably means they're going to fix it. So if they end up fixing stuff here, suddenly fists are one of the most OP builds in the game because of the tremendous cleave that these things have. I can hit like this and I hit everything around me, and it uses up like no stamina. Take a peek at that. Oh, and you might also notice, take a look, I hit them in the head and I don't get extra stamina back, even though Holly's supposed to. Meaning that for some reason punches don't register as a melee kill or just as a kill at all. But if they fix this, suddenly you have one of the most overpowered builds in the whole game, because you could just hold this and win the video game. So why does this matter right now? If my healing cards don't even work when I'm punching, why would I ever want to punch? Why don't I just use my regular melee weapon anyway? Couple reasons why this matters right now. So if we take a look at decks here, keep in mind a couple of things that we learned in this video. So if I go to solo decks here and take a look at Catch These Hands, Heavy Hitter is only one card. And what this one card does is it allows you to one hit a wide cleave of common, even if you're not running a melee deck. So you could put this on any of your characters, and if they start getting swarmed, they can take out a whole lot of Ridden all by themselves. So like, let's say in the case of Jim, where he's running a slow shooting sniper rifle, he can just punch stuff now and take it out all around him. Another reason where this is useful, if you are dealing with those volatile Ridden. If you're a melee character and you have Heavy Hitter equipped, you can go ahead and just punch the volatile and not have to worry about getting knocked back and taking all that damage, especially if you're early and don't have all your damage resistance set up yet. And something else to note is that the knife only hits single targets and it doesn't have that big knockback. Where with punching, you're hitting a bunch of them all at the same time, and you can keep going and you can go fast and you knock things back so you don't got to worry about taking damage. This is also really useful if you find yourself a weapon early game like a hatchet or an axe and you want to have that big damage, but you still want to be able to stun stuff. Because you're doing that big damage, you're swinging over your head, but you lose the ability to get that really big stumble damage like you get with the bat. So by being able to punch things still, you can stun lock tall boys, you can stun lock reekers, you can stun lock pretty much anything with Heavy Hitter. Heavy Hitter and fists are not currently working the way they're supposed to. I'm assuming they're going to fix it. But in the meantime, it's still useful. And if they fix it so that melee weapons, or that your fists count as melee weapons, I should say, it's going to get really, really, really strong, and it's going to be able to take out pretty much the whole game. So what I encourage you to do is see if there's ways that you could fit Heavy Hitter into your deck and see if it changes the way you play it all or makes things easier for you, even if you're not a melee character. We do viewer games almost every single night on twitch.tv/swingpoint. I encourage you to go check it out. Link will be in the description down below. Also, if these videos have helped you at all, please consider subscribing to the channel so that you can see more Back 4 Blood stuff that I push out. And with that, thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome, and I'll see you in the next video that we do around here.